Hi, I'm Matt,
And I'm Dave.
and welcome to part 4 of the ultimate guide to selling on Amazon. And in this tutorial, we're going to be looking at Amazon, but from a seller's perspective this time around. So in the last tutorial, we had a quick overview to looking at Amazon from a buyer's perspective. Now this time around, we're going to look for exactly the same things. So we're going to look for the size and the location of the search box and what that means to you as a seller.
We're then going to take a look at where the basket and the checkout are located, and also how clean the pages are and what this means to us as a seller.
We're also going to take explicit note of how the product pages are laid out, and also the product ratings and the number of ratings. Plus, we're going to be looking at the amount of offers in more detail on those popular products.
And then, Matt, we're going to be taking a look at the product description on the product page and also the key to selling on Amazon,
which is something called an ASIN, and we'll point that out to you in a few moments' time. So with that said, let's go and do this, and we'll catch up with you on the Amazon homepage in a few moments' time. So we've come back to Amazon, but this time around, as we mentioned, we're going to be looking at Amazon from a seller's perspective. So the search box, why is that really important for you as a seller? And that's really straightforward, because the moment I start typing in food processor like that, is that you can then see we've got keywords which are being suggested to us as a customer. And you should also now be thinking, okay, these are keywords which Amazon is suggesting to buyers, and maybe you should be including your product titles. So with that said, let's go one stage further and go into food processor for all the categories. Now on the left hand side we can see the categorization. So Dave, that's going to be telling us that Amazon does have a category tree.
That's right, Matt. And obviously that is part of what Amazon call the category tree. And that's the different sort of subcategories that sprout off from the main category within the Amazon search. And it's also worth noting that Amazon use something else called browse nodes, which help buyers find your products if you fill them in correctly.
That's right. Also down the left-hand side, we can see that brand forms a very important role for the navigation within Amazon. So we can see on the left-hand side how big that brand section is. We can also see the titles of the products which we've got here. We can see that on very popular items that there's many offers, and that's a very good indication to you that there are third-party businesses just like you which are selling these products on Amazon. So let's just pause for a moment and point out that there's 38 offers of this item available on Amazon. So that's besides Amazon selling the product themselves, that there's 38 other offers for this item. The product below, we can see that there's 8 offers available. The next item, there isn't any. The next item, we can see there's 19 offers available as well. And Dave, this bestseller as well, I think it's worth just pausing for a moment to just show how transparent Amazon can be, because they tell us which items are the bestseller items within the different categories. So let's go and click on bestseller here, and we can now see the top best-selling items within the full-size food processors category. So if we scroll down, they're now ordered by something called sales rank, basically popularity of sales on Amazon. We scroll down and we can see there's up to 100 items being shown on here. If we scroll back up to the top, is that we can go up the category levels. So let's go up to home and garden, or why don't we go back up to any department and then go into another category, say for example health and personal care, and we can see that there's a whole raft of items in here and they're sorted by popularity.
So also worth noting there, Matt, that this is also a nice way of potentially sourcing products, whilst bearing in mind these are probably going to be quite competitive as well.
That's right, Dave. So let's go back to our food processor, which we were looking at a few moments ago. And let's look at this from a seller's perspective. So we can see we've got the title of the item. On the left-hand side, we've got product images, and we can see that we've got a fantastically white background image here. And if I click onto the second image as well, the images are of a good quality, and there's additional images available as well. We can see that this item's got a large number of reviews. So think about this now from a buyer's perspective, is that's going to inspire trust about this product, because then they can see that a lot of other people, again, they may never, or probably never ever meet those people who have left the reviews, but their reviews and their views count about this product. We can see that there's 5 bullet points here. So we can see Delia Cheat Gadget, 2-speed mini chopper for meat, vegetables, breadcrumbs and herbs, and so on. And our main product description was all the way down at the bottom of the page. We can also see that there's 43 offers available on this product. So that's 43 other businesses which have got this item for sale. And we can also see the higher rated sellers on the right hand side, which are more competitive based upon price, value, and also performance of those seller accounts. Then, scrolling down, we can see that there are related items, but we're unable to impact those. We have this special section here called Sponsored Products. Now, this will take us off onto a completely different tangent, but this is something called Amazon Product Level Ads, and that does mean that you can promote your products on Amazon as well. Scrolling down, we can see the product details, and Dave, there's one section in here which we need to take explicit note of, which is the ASIN, or Amazon Stock Inventory Number. And we can see it starts B000C, and then we've got a couple of letters and numbers afterwards. And that's the unique identifier for this product. So for example, if I go and grab a different product, maybe a replacement bowl, scroll down into this item, you'll see that this item has a different ASIN. And it's the ASIN which is the key on Amazon. Now, scrolling on down further, we did note that this description is a special description because it's got HTML in here and we've got product images. Now, this isn't the best example to show you, and in a few moments' time, I'll show you a slightly different item. The reason why this isn't the best example for you to look at this from a seller's perspective is because a description area like this, and again, we only know the UK prices, you can hazard a guess at the .com prices, but for a customized page like this, costs around £300. So a rough conversion is about $600. Now that's out of the reach of most businesses, which I know. So let's go and have a look at a slightly different item. So we come across to some batteries. And again, the format is exactly the same. You can see a title, you can see pricing, you can see when the item is going to be delivered with you as a customer. In this case, this item isn't available for sale by any third-party merchants. But if we scroll down and look at the description, this is more typical of a product description which has been loaded by a third-party business owner like you. And Dave, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to jump off to a fashion item just to give an extra bit of dimension here too.
Yeah, totally. And whilst Matt does that, I'm just going to want to put in here that on Amazon, your product description is actually secondary to your title, your images, and the 5 bullet points at the top, because they are what your buyer is going to see first. So your focus from your seller's point of view right now is to get your title as good as it can be, get the images as good as they can be, and then also focus on the 5 key bullet points. And remember to focus on features and benefits that that product brings.
So now I've been jumped across to a hoodie, and we can see that there's a size variation, there's a color variation. We've got some of those bullet points here again, Dave. And then if we scroll down here, is that we can then see that we've got a product description here. Now, this is more typical of a description which you would add to an Amazon product. So you can see that the seller in this case is being used bullet points, and there isn't any fancy HTML which has been added. So there aren't any images specifically or tables which have been included in here. And a quick note here is that Amazon does support very basic HTML, but it is very, very basic, and anything beyond, say, a bold tag or a couple of bullet points, and that's kind of as far as Amazon stretches, where, for example, if we pause to maybe think about eBay for a few moments, Dave, we've all seen the descriptions which you can make on eBay, 100% customizable. Whereas on Amazon, it's the complete reverse. It's almost plain text.
The way to look at it, Matt, is it's a catalogue. Amazon have their sort of rules of how they want their catalogue to look. They want all the products to look as similar or as uniform as possible. And that's exactly why I sort of put these rules in place.
That's right. Now, during this tutorial, we've been to learn one very important thing, is that there's a magic key to Amazon, and it's something called an ASIN, and we'll be discussing that in a later tutorial. So for now, from myself, Matt.
And from me, Dave.
Cheerios.